Hey everyone, Rainbow Warrior here, and today I'm going to show you how to make this crocheted hood. I wanted to make something that could protect my head from the nasty weather without necessarily having to wear a hoodie all the time. So I think this hood looks very whimsical, and of course you can make it in whatever color you want. This pattern is very adjustable, so I'm going to show you what you need and let's get started. For your materials, you're going to need yarn of your choosing. I'm using a medium worsted weight yarn. It's Red Heart Super Saver in the color burgundy, but I'm sure a bulky weight yarn would look great as well. And you also need a hook, and I'm using size J. So we're going to begin our project with a slip knot, and I'm using a size J hook just because it's the largest hook that I have. And I'm going to begin with a chain of 28. So this foundation chain is going to be what goes from the back of your head to the base of your neck. So if you're making a different size hood, be sure to adjust your chain accordingly. Alright, and once you have your foundation chain completed, we're going to begin double crocheting in the third chain from the hook. And we're going to double crochet all the way down that chain until we reach the end chain, or what's going to be the turning chain in this project. And I'm using double crochet because it is one of my favorite stitches to use. It's very quick and easy to do. However, I'm sure this hood would look great in a number of stitches as well. Alright, now that we've reached our last chain, we're going to do 3 double crochets in that turning chain. And then we're going to double crochet down along the other side of the chain. Just like so. And as you can see, that creates a nice curve for us in our work. Alright, and once we have row 1 completed, we're reaching our final stitch. So I'm just going to put my double crochet in that last stitch, and then I'm going to chain 2 and turn my work. And now we are on row 2. So that chain counts as our first stitch, and we're going to begin double crocheting in the back loop only from here on out. So as you can see, there's 2 loops on our crochet stitch, and we're just going to go towards the one closest to us. And this will create a nice ribbed pattern and will make our hood not as stiff. Alright, now once we get to the top, we're going to do our increase, and this is how we're going to increase for each row. As you can see, there are 3 stitches from what we increased in the first row, and I'm going to do 2 double crochets in that first stitch. Now 1 double crochet in the top stitch. And 2 double crochets in the next stitch. And I like to increase like this because it gives us a nice curve effect. It's not super pointy. And now we're just going to continue doing our double crochet all the way down until we reach the end of row 2. So this project is very simple. For each row, you're simply going to double crochet through the back loop only. When you reach your top 3 stitches, you're going to do your increase. And when you reach the end of each row, I go through both loops of the stitch just so that way it's not super stretched out at the bottom. Just a little detail I wanted to mention. And you're going to go through your last stitch and chain 2 and turn your work. And now we're on row 3. So again, double crochet in each stitch, do your increases when you reach the top, 3 stitches, and each row you are increasing 2 stitches. And here we are back again at the top. I want to show you one more time. If you're inexperienced with finding where your increases are, then be sure to place a stitch marker at your top stitch so that you can keep track. However, it's easy for me to see what stitches are what. So I'm going to put 2 in the first stitch, and then 1 in the top, and 2 in the next. And again, being able to see what stitches are what are just something that comes with experience and time. When I first started crocheting, there's no way I would have been able to tell which stitch was my top stitch, so be sure to use a place marker. And then just continue with that pattern, and you're going to rep as many rows as you need until you have the size that you want. Alrighty, so my 12 rows are complete, and I wanted to talk to you a little bit about adjusting this pattern. So there might be chances that we have the same size head or that we're using the same materials, but you may not want your hood to look like mine. So if you want a more fitted hood, you want to stop increasing after row 6. So you count by folding your hood in half. And you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And if you stop increasing on row 6, your hood will be nice and snug on your head. However, I want mine to be nice and billowy, so I stopped increasing on row 10. So on row 11, I just did a double crochet in each stitch. And then for row 12, I'm going to personally go back and do half double crochet to finish off, just because that's what I want my hood to look like. But again, that's optional. And also, I'm just keeping this as a hood to wear on my head, and I'm tying it like right here, kind of like a bonnet, so that way it will look like this. And you may not want that look. You may want a scarf. So if you do that, you're going to double crochet along the bottom here, and then you're going to chain and connect from this spot to here. You're going to chain and then just do a continual round so that you have a cowl. And just the reason I'm not doing this is because I don't have enough yarn left, and I'm going to do that for a future project as well, so I'm excited and stay tuned for that. But yeah, I like the look of this hood. It was very easy to create, and I just wanted to get this pattern down before I made a cowl. I hope you enjoyed this pattern. Please be sure to give a thumbs up if you did. As well, you can subscribe for more tutorials, and you can comment down below with any questions or requests you may have. So I'll see you in my next video. Thanks for watching.